You are now dialed in with the Dial Brothers.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 9 of the Dialed In podcast. Me and Steven are excited to see. Well, we don't see them. I was about to say we're excited to see them.
See who?
The Dialed In fam.
The dialers. We still have not agreed on what that's going to be.
I just don't think we're going to agree because I'm settled on the Dialed In fam.
And I'm settled on the dialers. So I don't know what we're going to do. How was your weekend?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Busy week for Christian people. So
it's a busy week for multiple religions, actually.
Yeah, well,
I get what you're
them.
saying.
I'm talking about us.
Busy week for Christian people. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I had a busy weekend. I was out of town for a convention, wearing my GCU shirt. They lost to Alabama, but for the first time in school history, they won a NCAA tournament game. So repping the Lopes today, even though they lost to Bama. I hope the Tar Heels beat Bama in LA. Yes, I said it. So there you go.
Well, now you've always been a Tar Heels fan, so I mean,
correct. See, at least you acknowledge that.
Yeah, because I was about to say, why you just gotta hate on Alabama all the time?
No,
but
they're
you've
playing
always
North
been a Tar Heels
Carolina.
fan.
Right, they're playing North Carolina. So there you go. I have a reason to cheer against them legitimately.
Look, I might be wrong, but you've flown every weekend this month? No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And still have more to go.
Mm-hmm.
I've been racking up the miles, I guess. Man, now that I've been flying so much, I would say, man, the reward system needs to be even better because people think I got all these miles and I really don't have as many as people think. Like you barely get to miles each flight. But in other news, so
it's not.
what?
Well, I don't know how it works.
What?
I'm gonna say it's not based on like literally the amount of miles you fly.
I don't know. I just, I think when I flew to Atlanta, I got like 300 points, like a flight. So I don't know.
Well, yeah, no, that's probably not right because between here and Birmingham is like 160 miles. So yeah, that's not right.
Yeah, I mean they don't want to lose money too. I mean it's, you know.
I get that.
My flight to New Orleans, we were literally on the runway, and I don't know if anyone has ever been at the airport when the president lands. I already knew the president was about to land, so I was hoping we were hurrying up and taking off. A lot of people on the plane did not know the president was about to land because, everybody doesn't watch the news. Everybody doesn't know the details of the president's travel. So we're sitting on tarmac and we already kind of left a little late. And they go over the speaker and said, the VIP is landing. And then people were just like, okay. And then the guy comes back and says, the VIP is Air Force One, President of the United States. And then you started hearing some groaning. And I said to myself, I wonder how many of these groans were because we were going to be late, and how
No,
many
it's
of the
because of
groans
who
were
he is.
was because who it was. But it was cool seeing. I've seen Air Force One. My job allows me to see some cool things, but seeing it from my window seat, see, I wouldn't have been able to see it if I was in the aisle. Micah
You
saw
can
the
look up
plane land.
pictures.
Okay, but I saw it land in real time from my window seat.
Whoop-de-doo. I mean, I'm glad. I mean, that's cool for you. I mean, I ain't never seen no dinosaur before or
What?
a polar bear, but I mean, cool for people who have.
What?
Matter of fact, I think I have seen a polar bear before. Maybe at the zoo. I don't know.
Let's get into our first video.
Diamond?
Yeah. Go, go, go. You finna shoot up the car.
Shoot up the car?
Yeah, go.
What the f? What is that? What the f is that? What the f is that?
He just shot at the car.
For what?
Let me call the police.
Man,
Let me call the police, Cuddy.
Man, I feel for Uber drivers. I mean, rideshare drivers, you never know what they're going to experience when they pick up someone, especially at night. She get in the car talking about he's shooting. What?
Man, couldn't have been me because, well, first of all, he was right in speeding off and trying to get away from it.
Yeah,
But I wish that we could have seen more to what happened once they stopped wherever they stopped
he
because
probably cursed her out even more.
man, she would have got out my car because what
I
in
mean,
the
she probably
world?
did, but like you knew that person was mad at you when you got in the car.
Yeah, she talking about he shooting, he gonna shoot. What? Man, and I'll be honest with you, that would probably be my last day as a Uber driver. I ain't gonna
You
lie to
think
you.
you'd be that traumatized that you'd be like, I can't
You
do this anymore.
you pick up somebody, she get in the car and she ducking because she know what's coming.
That
And
is
then
crazy.
that well, how I that was perfect timing though, because
Yeah, like how he pull up this 5
yeah,
seconds before this man starts shooting.
yeah, that almost seemed like a setup to me in a way, but because that was just perfect timing. That was perfect timing.
Then I
Because if he
wonder,
wanted to shoot her, he
did
could
the
have shot her
car
before
get
that.
hit? Did the car get hit? I mean, just
Those shots sounded real close, so I don't know.
the good
I don't
thing
know.
is, and a lot of drivers do this now, they have a camera inside the car just in case an incident happens. Not even like a car crash happens. I mean, you have
Yeah,
drunk people getting in the car, just weird people getting in your vehicle. If he didn't have that video, I mean, because I know he probably filed a claim with whatever company he was working for. If he
yeah,
didn't have that video, that'd be kind of hard to prove.
yeah, yeah. All kind of allegations could be spread about you and everything. So yeah, if you are out there and you are a driver for one of those rideshare companies, invest in you in some in your vehicle cameras because man, ain't no. But like you said, ain't no telling what they see on a, especially those who
Oh
drive
man.
at nighttime.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do it. I mean, especially let's say if you're in a city like New Orleans, where I just came from, or picking up someone from downtown Atlanta or any major city or city that has a nightlife, that's dangerous. Like,
Yeah.
or just going to someone's house. I mean, all of that is dangerous. So
And I don't think they're bulletproof, but I've seen some of them have the glass between them and the back seat.
yeah, I
But
I doubt it's bulletproof.
I think that's just more so just giving you some type of barrier. But still, that's crazy. I really think I don't know. We would have to ask some kind of lawyer or something. I think there should be some type of charges pressed against her because she got in the car knowing
Yeah,
that this
yeah,
person was chasing her with a gun. Like
yeah.
that's
She You see, I tried to do a good job of editing out the curse words, but I do not blame him for all the words that he said. And he probably cursed her out even more when they got a little further away.
Man, but my thing is, soon as she got in, she ducking. She know what's taking place. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. People trying to run away from the cops, run away from the police. Would you jump on top of a water burger, whatever y'all call it, and trying to get away from the police? That's crazy.
And then the question is, did he get up via that ladder that was out there, or like how did he get up there first?
He's
And then
Spider
what did he think
Man.
he was going to do on top of a building? You had the fire department outside, police department. Like, where were you going to go on top of a burger joint?
He's probably have some type of mental challenge because, like you
I
said,
hope. I hope,
Where
or he
where are
was
you
on
going
something.
to go? Now, I tell you who I would be like if I was pissed, I'd be ticked off if I was one of those firemen. We didn't, and it looked like it was warm outside, and I know they're used to it, but
Yeah.
he ain't had no clothes on, so I think it was hot.
And he had
He,
on shorts. Well, he
yeah,
don't
he wasn't naked, but he they done put all their gear on, climbed up on top of this not Burger King, water, what it's called?
what a burger.
Whataburger, and he gonna jump off. Man, I wish he would have broke his leg if I was one of them.
Someone commented and said the Cowboys found their new running back. he, he was avoiding tackles.
Hey, crazy have a different type energy.
Yeah, man, he had to have been on something, or jumping on top of a building, jumping off of the building without the assistance of the ladder, and just running. Yeah, that was.
Moral
You know,
of the story: there are some dangerous people out here, man, and you have to be careful. I was walking in the grocery store the other day, and there was this older lady, and she really was old. 'Cause I know I call a lot of people old. That's not necessarily old. She was old. Had it been at least in her 70s, and she was walking in front of me. We was in the parking lot, and she jumped like something scared her, but there was nothing that scared her. So
Oh,
I said, oh no. I started not even going in the store because I'm like, she up to no good. I'm like, what in the world?
she just jumped in the parking
It
lot.
was almost as if like something jumped out in front of her. She was like, and I'm like, it's I jumped too, because I'm like, yeah, what what you jumping for? But
What
no.
did you jump for?
Because I didn't know why she jumped. It was like, well, what's going on? It's like how you talk about, even though she was uh um Caucasian woman.
Hmm.
But you know how you see the things, and I would never do it, but it would be cool just to see. You ever seen in the black churches where the pastor intentionally like run off the stage and then everybody in the church start running? Because
I was gonna ask you, there, there's a, I don't, it's not a saying, but there's a thought that if one black person sees another black person run, they just start running. Will
for
you just
sure.
instantly start running if you see someone running? If you're in the Kroger parking lot and you just see a person who happens to look like you taking off running, are you just gonna start running for no reason?
Well, but see, I'm not gonna realize this for no reason until after I done stop running. Cause cause now if especially if I see more than one person running, what we running from? So I ain't about to stay here and find out. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
You
And
say
I
you
and
rather run for your health, even if it's nothing, than to just stay there and find out. You're not gonna
absolutely.
mess around and find out, is what you're saying.
Right, right. And then it don't even have to be a black person me see running, especially if I see a white person running. What in the world? what? What they running
Why
from?
you gonna run if you see a white person running?
Because if we going with these stereotypes, they'll sit there and say, "What's going on? What's happening?" And it's like, so if they running, they done already confirmed the danger. So,
Oh,
mm-mm.
okay.
But
Wow.
and but to be real, and we spend a lot of time on this part. But to be real, nowadays, I would suggest you run with all these shootings and stuff. You don't know what's
Just
going
run,
on.
huh? And
You better
running or
run.
zigzag too. So, if you're running a straight line, you might get shot.
Yeah, yeah, that's man. And now, to be honest with you, that's probably now one of my biggest fears: being in just a random public place and somebody starts shooting.
I
That's
think that's a lot of people's fear,
that's scary.
because it just happens more now, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, yeah. We not about to get
I've
into
been in
the
some situation now, and maybe it's because I cover it more, but when I'm in certain large areas, a lot of scenarios go through my mind, which somebody may call morbid, but I'll be real time thinking of things happening
yeah,
just because
and
you never know.
it's real when you go in a place to know more than one exit and all that stuff, and to teach your kids about gun safety.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's unfortunate. We live in the greatest country in the world, but you can't go buy a bag of popcorn without getting shot.
That's true. That's true. All right. Now, on to Micah's favorite part of the show.
Politics. Look, y'all's 45th. Well, he was all of our president.
Correct.
45th president of the United States, Donald J. Trump. He had some kind of good news this week so
Yeah,
far.
good news and bad news.
Yeah, yeah. His bond that was 400 something million dollars was dropped down to about 175 million. However, his trial, one of these cases starts on April the 15th, I believe.
April 15th. Yes. It's
Yeah.
the hush money trial. Like you said, one of his multiple trials. Let's break this into two pieces. First, the bond. Some people
Mhm.
are being critical. He went to an appeals court. The appeals court gave him 10 extra days and basically cut the bond in half. And then, of course, naturally, the conversation from some people is, would that have happened if it wasn't the former president of the United States? If that bond was set, which was a high bond, $500 million, did he get preferential treatment?
I don't think so. In really probably ever, but definitely not in modern day. Definitely not the last 10, 20 presidents, but I don't think ever. Have we had a president that's a billionaire? Um, Donald Trump many times has bragged
Well,
about.
on paper, well, I'm saying public opinion, he says he's a
Well,
billionaire, but
right, and that's what I was about to say. Donald Trump has time and time again bragged about his financial abundance,
mhm.
um, and so if you got it the way you say you got it, then you playing a big boy game. So be a big boy. But he said that he would have to start selling things to pay that bond, and
Because
then I
most
heard
people
something.
who are billionaires, they have assets.
Oh
They're not
yeah.
I
They
don't have
don't have
$1 billion
cash
in
like that.
cash.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people don't realize.
Oh yeah, that's based on your net worth, assets minus
Yeah,
liabilities. What you, yeah, that's yeah. Um, but I, I don't. To me, Donald Trump has put himself in all these positions and situations. So
mhm.
I mean, he's saying it's not fair that it's a political an election. What are you saying? Um,
I'm saying he's saying, I mean, and this part is true now. I'm not
Election
talking about his
interference.
reasoning, but yeah, I mean, so this now means that he's going to be going through a trial. I mean, they're saying jury selection may take 2 weeks by itself, in the heat of a presidential campaign. I mean, if a trial starts April 15th, which really means jury selection starts April 15th, you get a jury seated by the end of April, okay, and then the trial is probably going to be a month. Like, you might not
Of
have a
which
verdict until
the schedule
June.
right now is 4 days a week. They take Wednesdays and weekends off, and Donald Trump more than likely has to be present for the trial. But
In New York, in a criminal case, the defendant has to be present. So that means all day he is not going to be on the campaign trail. He will be seated in the courtroom. That is a New York thing.
it'll give him
'Cause it's a
fuel, though.
criminal trial.
It'll give him fuel
Oh
for his
yeah,
campaign.
of course. His team is smart. They'll find a way to
And
and
we talk about preferential treatment. Would it not be preferential treatment to not have the trial because you're running for president?
well, that's a question too. Okay, do you push the trial to? Okay, but do you keep delaying it? This is something that has never happened before. So everything that's happening is a first. You've
Mhm.
never had a former president on trial. The last
That shouldn't matter.
the last elected official. I mean, you go back to Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr, who was the vice president. Um, like what shouldn't matter?
That you running for president. You
No, it shouldn't.
allegedly
It
committed a
shouldn't.
crime,
Hmm.
and so it's going through the judicial process, and it just so happened, all right, now we ready for trial. What are
Yeah,
we talking about? You just like anybody else. And I think, and correct me if I'm wrong if you know, you cannot convict a sitting president. Is that true?
technically, yeah.
So
But
I think
a
all
sitting
these
president ain't
delays
going out
is
killing nobody either. Like, I'm not saying the former president killed anyone. I'm saying these things are understood because typically a president is not involved in crimes, or at the very least multiple crimes or allegations.
allegedly,
So
yeah, allegations, yeah.
yeah, so this is a new territory. Of course, one side is going to say, "Oh, this is political. Y'all are making him be in a courtroom." Okay, so when is the trial supposed to happen? Because
Yeah.
okay, if he wins, then that trial is not going to ever happen. So
And that's why he keeps trying to delay it, because if he becomes president, then they can't, well, based on what I think, that they
it's
can't do
not going
anything.
to happen. Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
Now, all these other cases, I mean, they'll probably never see the light of
Yeah,
day
and
or a
finally
trial.
jacked up the stuff here. Um, but I saw an interview yesterday. She was doing some kind of
Mhm.
thing, and she said that she only mistake, or not mistake, but something she's guilty of is
Yeah.
having a relationship with a man.
Yeah, because she was saying that. I mean, it wasn't an affair. He wasn't a married. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't.
But
It wasn't a
finally,
scandal. I'm saying it wasn't a scandal in that sense, which what we are used to hearing in politics.
yeah, but this wasn't just any man. It was
Correct.
Mr. Wade, and Mr. Wade was your lead prosecutor. Well, this in the beginning, this and he wasn't, but he
Hmm.
became your lead prosecutor on this case against Donald Trump.
Yeah.
That's a problem. But I think I still stand by this. I don't think this affects Donald Trump's position in November at all. I don't.
No, no, no.
Mm,
It's going to take a lot more to affect his position in November.
yeah.
I mean, because you have to really look at it. I mean, I don't want to say 50% because that's not accurate, but okay, let's just say 40% is already baked in for both sides. 40% people
Oh
are going to
yeah.
vote for Joe Biden, 40% are going to vote for Donald Trump. So you're really just looking at that group in the middle of what is it going to take to make them say, I can't stay with Donald Trump, or what is it going to take for them to say, I can't stay with Joe Biden? That's really what a lot of elections come down to, is just this small group of swing voters, this small group, and they're not even all independents, because you know multiple news stations have done stories about people who voted for Obama and then they voted for Trump and then they voted for Biden. Voters are very
Fickle.
interesting people. They're what?
Fickle.
Oh yeah, that's a good word. There's voters are interesting.
Think about it. This just me. This just me. I'm not listen, dialers or dialed in fam or just guest. Vote for whoever you feel you should vote for. However, if Kamala Harris came out and told me she wasn't supporting Joe Biden, if his chief of staff, if his secretary of state, his secretary of defense, all these people who worked for and with him come out and say they're not supporting him, that would raise red flags to me.
Hmm.
Even if I was going to support him now, I would question it. Now I'd be like, I
Yeah,
don't know, because if all these people who was with him saying, "Nah, he ain't no good. He don't need to be in that seat anymore," I
yeah,
think you should pay attention to that.
yeah. I mean, you have
They don't care.
multiple former people who worked for the former president who are now against him. Um, Yeah, I mean, like I said, it will have to be something bigger than. And people thought, okay, well, all these cases and all these allegations, that's big. And in normal terms, it is. But for this political climate that we're in, that is not a deterrent to people. So,
So
yeah,
what is bigger?
I have
What
no
could change
idea
people's mind?
if what 90 charges ain't big enough. I don't know. Because think about it. Anyone else running for any office, one charge could tank their
Oh
campaign.
yeah.
So we're just in a different time, I guess.
He and I love to go back to this. He came out the gate saying he could stand on the street of Manhattan and kill
Yeah.
somebody and he'd get
Hmm.
away with it. So he's proven, even though he has not done that, as far as we know,
Hmm.
uh, he's proven that to be true. That he can do anything in a way, and his base is still going to support him no matter what.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
we are in different politics. Let's move on.
yeah.
So Chick-fil-A, Atlanta-based Chick-fil-A, made some headlines in a couple of days ago, saying that they were now going to allow chicken with antibiotics in them. I guess they made a pledge back in 2014 saying, they weren't going to do that. Now they're changing. Yeah, it was a commitment in 2014 to have antibiotics, antibiotic-free chicken. Um, do you think the chicken's going to taste different?
That's my now all the health nuts out there would say this
Hmm.
shouldn't be the first concern. That's my main concern. Like Chick-fil-A, be very, very careful because now if y'all change the taste of this sandwich, y'all about to mess up. Like don't don't do that. Uh so I think, but I don't know because was it them or Wendy's, whatever, that changed one of the sauces or something one time, and
I
then they
mean,
switched it
Chick-fil-A
back.
changed their sauce. When Chick-fil-A changed their sauce and switched it back. Wendy's
Yeah.
changed their sauce and kept it.
Yeah. So I think Chick-fil-A learned a lesson in you got a magic combination that works right now. Leave it alone. Like don't mess with it. So I'm sure they've done their tests and research and made sure that the taste is gonna stay the same. But I mean, I guess from a health perspective, even though we'll be okay. Uh I wish they could have stuck with no antibiotics, but we'll be all right.
I mean, they've changed the oil that they cook in before, which some people said they could taste the difference. I ain't really taste the difference. But yeah, when they changed the barbecue sauce, I didn't like that, and they changed it back. They got a lot of backlash for it. This is different because just I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I don't know. And granted, yes, we have eaten chicken that has antibiotics or
For
whatever.
sure.
But I don't know. Like, does that make the taste of the chicken sandwich different?
I don't think so. I think it's just
And
more
I
of a
think people
health
just
thing.
don't start when it happens. I think it's supposed to start late spring. When it happens, you're gonna have people that's just gonna say it tastes different, and it might not taste different. They just want to say
And
something.
in that same article, it said that Tyson, which is one of the largest chicken distributors,
Hmm.
they previously had that same commitment to no antibiotics, but they've walked away from that commitment as well. So I think it's
Yeah.
kind of a industry-wide thing. Some of it might be out of Chick-fil-A's control that these large distributors are just saying to meet these high demands for chicken.
Hmm.
They trying to keep these chickens alive, so they got to give them medicine.
Well, and there's some things that Tyson in particular, like I don't know if it's still, but some of their stuff they couldn't even put chicken on it on the label because it's that's
Not
different.
chicken.
Yeah, like they can't put chicken wings because that's not chicken wings, but or whatever. Yeah,
Damn.
I mean the demand is high. I mean, think about it. A couple years ago, and I still never understood this when they were saying there was a wing shortage.
Mhm.
I forgot what comedian said it, but it said so a chicken has two wings, two thighs, two legs. So people like what's the wing stop and everybody are running specials on thighs. So how you got more thighs but you run out of wings? I just don't understand that.
Because
Like,
if you got 2 wings, then you ought to have 2 thighs.
correct. So
Or
how
if
was
you got
there
2 thighs, you ought to have 2 wings, yeah.
a wing shortage?
That makes you wonder, like you said, are we really eating real chickens? Or are they just growing wings some kinda way? I mean, yeah, because
Think they're
that
just
doesn't make sense.
growing wings in a lab.
Hey,
That
just
that's
to
why
think
the wing
about it, think
that's why the
just
wing's
about
so small.
every restaurant sells chicken.
Hmm.
Um, even steak restaurants, there's chicken
Yeah.
on the menu somewhere.
Hmm.
Uh, there's a lot of chickens in the world.
Like a lot, a lot.
That's crazy.
Well, and then I went and got some wings, and you talking about the wings were too small.
Yeah, those chickens, they rushed them. I don't like
I
I
don't
don't
think they
like
rushed
rushed
them. I
chickens.
just think they were smaller chickens.
Nah. Well, okay, they put them out too fast. Like let them
Mhm.
grow some more. I'm not saying they gotta be huge, but I don't want no uh man, you have to be so politically correct nowadays. But I just don't want no miniature chickens.
But then you're gonna complain if the wing is too big. Then you're gonna say, "Oh, I don't know what's wrong with this wing."
Yeah, it needs to just be the right size wing. The
But
per
your definition of right size wings may not be someone else's definition of right size wings.
I think the vast majority of the human population would agree with me on the size I'm talking about as far as the right size. Those little things you got from touchdown, that's not the right size.
I would rather them be little than huge.
Bringing up Wingstop's overrated to me.
I agree. I'm not a big fan. I mean, do they do a good job sometimes? Sure, but I don't get the hype. I mean, some people are like Wingstop for life, but
Mm-mm. American Deli used to be real good.
yeah,
Um,
I haven't been in a while. Well, and their wings started getting smaller.
yeah. Only American Deli. This is not the only one, but the one I know of right now is over of Moreland Avenue, and it's at Edgewood. But yeah, a lot of these wing places are kind of whack.
What you
Now,
mean?
do y'all have oh man, what's the name of that restaurant? Um we just got to move on. I can't think of the name of it. It's one in Atlantic Station. It's all with an H, I think. I can't think of it. They got their
Are-
wings are on the larger side, but they're good. And they have like this it's not
Mm-mm.
honey chipotle, it's some kind of something. But oh my goodness. Oh,
I mean, wings are great.
almost said it.
I don't want no huge wings. I'm fine with the little wings. I'd rather be little than huge. Makes me think they've been shot up with something, steroids, or something.
So we saying we don't want no chicken to have antibiotics. We don't want no chicken to have
I ain't say that.
steroids. We just want a normal backyard chicken.
Yeah, well, you're not gonna find those nowadays. So
Hey, it's my dream. I really kind of want to live on a like a farm. I want my own chickens and other livestock, and so my dream is we want chicken for dinner. We go out back and slaughter a chicken and
oh my god.
clean it up and have some fresh. Truly, this chicken only had 2 wings and 2 thighs and 2 legs. Um, because now I've been told that fresh pasture raised chicken and cow and all
Mhm.
that stuff tastes different
I
than
believe it does. It
this
probably
other stuff.
does. That's why some people only eat those things. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more expensive though,
Yeah. All
and I,
right.
I hope Chick-fil-A is not doing it for the money. I hope that's not their reason for
You
doing it.
never know. I mean, when businesses make decisions like this, they have looked at every angle, and one of the top things is financial. So you never know, or it just might not be feasible for the amount of chicken that they need to still have chicken that's antibiotic free.
Listen, I went to Chick-fil-A yesterday. Not always, majority of the time. I get a spicy chicken sandwich meal.
Hmm.
Not no, not a spicy chicken sandwich meal. I ask for a large fry, get a lemonade. Sometimes I get a brownie and macaroni and cheese. Okay. Why you look like that?
Because
It's a meal.
sound like a lot of calories.
But so yesterday I went and I said, give me, because I've been trying to just drink water this week.
Oh, when really?
Yeah, struggle.
How is that going?
A struggle.
You
Uh,
know, I did a food challenge for 10 days, and I told Micah about it, and Micah tried to do it, and you
almost
couldn't make it
died.
past one day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
Well,
not good.
this is just a water. I'm just drinking water, not soda or juice. I'm still eating everything I want to eat.
So why you get lemonade?
I didn't get lemonade yesterday. I told you what I normally get,
Oh, okay. All
but
right.
yesterday I said just give me the spicy chicken sandwich,
Mhm.
give me a large fry, and give me a cup of water,
Mhm.
and then I got your mama some nuggets. So the girl tell me that it was $11. And
Mhm.
I said to
Sound about right.
myself, well, I thought it was, I'm used to spending more than that. I
Oh,
said, that ain't right. So I go around, get my stuff. I look at the receipt.
she
I
gave you a
thought,
cup of water.
huh?
Water's free.
You're right. The water is free. And I said, if I didn't get them nuggets for her, I said, oh, I'm going to have to do this all the time. Get the sandwich, large fry, and the water. I
You won't do
spend
it. You won't do
$8. Hmm?
it. People spend $8 on the meal. What are you talking about?
I guess I'm used to going Chick-fil-A, spending $20, $25. That's what I'm
That's
used
'cause
to.
you getting fries and nuggets and macaroni and cheese and brownies and cookies. You
You
getting a
gotta get your
grocery list.
meal. Dadgummit. I
What?
left. I knew I was gonna do that. I've been trying to eat fruit this week too, and I left my fruit. I knew I was gonna do that. Dang.
I'm shocked you're drinking water. I don't.
Well, it's hey, we'll see if I make it through the whole week. But you see, normally I have Gatorade or something, but I'm drinking water.
Okay. All right. In entertainment news, before we get to some serious entertainment news, we're going to have something light. One has to go in all of his work. This would be an easy answer. Denzel Washington, Morgan Freeman, Samuel L. Jackson, Eddie Murphy, Will Smith, or Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne, bye bye.
Yeah, that's my answer. Now he has been on some solid movies, Boys in the Hood and stuff. He's had some good roles, but I
Yeah.
mean, compared to all those other people, Will Smith is one of my favorites. I watch Fresh Prince all the time. And then just he's been in good movies. Eddie Murphy is hilarious. The old Eddie Murphy as a comedian, hilarious. No one's getting rid of Denzel Washington. Morgan Freeman is just the old goat. Samuel Jackson is funny.
Morgan Freeman is the voice we know as God. How could we get rid
Yeah,
of him?
yeah. So man, that was pretty easy. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And like you said, now he's a phenomenal actor.
Yeah,
So
he does. Okay, if Lawrence Fishburne was not on there, who would you say?
ooh. I almost,
Who you gonna say? Will Smith?
I was just about to say, I almost might say Will Smith.
And
If not Will
all of
Smith,
his work, all of his work. Will
well,
Smith won the first Grammy for rap or hip hop.
I
Will
guess I'm
Smith
thinking about acting is what
is
I'm
all of his work.
thinking about. And specifically, I'm thinking about movie acting because, like I said, when you think about Fresh Prince of
Yeah,
Bel Air, so if we talking about complete all of his work, then probably
all of
Samuel L. Jackson, probably.
it's tough. I'm a Will Smith fan, so I might have to say Samuel Jackson. 'Cause I'm not gonna say Eddie Murphy. Old, a lot of people don't know. Like people only see like the now Eddie Murphy. Old Eddie Murphy. Oh my goodness! Like
Full of
coming
energy,
Coming
wild.
to America is one of my favorite movies ever. I'm not gonna get rid of Denzel Washington. He's a goat. I don't know. I might do Samuel or Morgan Freeman to be completely honest, because Morgan Freeman had some hits back in the day, but now, like you said, he's just like the voice of God and stuff. Like he's not doing much. I don't know. Yeah, it might be Samuel or Morgan Freeman.
Hmm.
Lawrence should not have been on the list because everybody's gonna say Lawrence. I mean, put in the comments. Would you keep Lawrence Fishburne compared to all the other guys on the list? They're all great.
Oh well, you kind of just answered my question. I would say, do you think that Lawrence isn't on the same level as them?
He's not on the same level as Denzel Washington or Morgan Freeman or maybe Eddie Murphy.
Hmm. Now, some people might not like this. Denzel's great, but I think he's a little overrated too.
Why do you think he's overrated?
Just because I think people I don't feel the same way about him as I do about this other person. He gives me LeBron vibes when it comes to the way people
You just
talk about
find a way to include LeBron in every episode. You are a hater. You need
him.
to you need to chill, man.
So
Do
is
you think Denzel Washington's overrated? I don't think the dialers or the dialed in fan will agree with you. Denzel
nah,
Washington's not
he's
overrated.
great. He's
He's
great, but
very
I think
versatile. He's very versatile. He's had some banger movies. Like,
yeah, he's great. I just
so how is
think
he overrated then?
I just think it's just he just has one of those names that when Denzel's just like everybody, oh my goodness,
I
Denzel.
mean,
And
he's the GOAT.
it's like he good, yeah, but I
Have you
mean,
even seen like his old movies?
yeah, now he got one that I don't remember naming that movie where his son needed a heart or something.
Yeah.
Now that I like that movie. And there was another
I
one. What the
mean,
one where he got shot up?
Equalizer's been good. I mean, he did Malcolm X. He did
What's the one where he got shot up? Um, he was wearing a wife beater. He was standing out front of his car and they shot him up.
Training Day.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not taking nothing away from him. Just like I don't ever take anything away from LeBron.
No,
I'm
was that
just
Training
saying.
Day?
I don't know.
The Training Day was great. Malcolm X movie was great. The one that you were talking about with the kid who needed the transplant, Equalizer, is some of his latest movies. I watched that on the plane. It's
I
good.
don't necessarily like that.
What else? What is it? When he's Bumpy Johnson, the he was doing drug dealing. It was basically like the Black Mafia.
Oh,
Y'all know
y-
what movie I'm talking about.
I know
Dad,
what you're talking about.
really liked that movie.
Yeah.
Uh, I can't think of the name. He was a drug dealer.
Cause that's the one where his women now guys listen up. Don't let no be careful with these females.
Yeah, and he said the loudest in the room is off in the weekend. If he
Yeah,
didn't wear that big coat that she
yeah, with
bought
that
him,
white coat he
yeah.
had on.
What is the name of the movie?
Cause isn't that the one where Dad used to say when a man say bees get shot every day? Is that one? Might not
Oh yeah,
be.
probably. I was
Um,
like bees. I was thinking bees. I'm like, what are you talking?
no, not like bumblebees.
Uh,
Like
Hold on. Now I gotta. What is the name of the movie?
I don't know. I definitely don't know the name of it. I don't know.
It is American Gangster.
Mm.
That was a really good movie. It was a really good movie.
Yeah, and Fences, I love when he said, "What? Why I got to like you?" He's saying, "Nothing say I
Yeah,
got to like you."
I just watched The Great Debaters randomly last week.
Yeah, so
Like he has. To.
he
So how you
did
gonna say he's overrated? We just spent 5 minutes talking about his great movies. How's he overrated?
okay. Well, Denzel's the goat.
He
Uh,
is, in my opinion.
Now I think, but then you could get into
Now
the
is
whole.
Morgan Freeman overrated?
I don't think so. See, I think this gets to be like how we said there has to be a Mount Rushmore of basketball.
Mhm.
But I don't think because Like when because you can get into talking about like all these other people, like them dead and gone people. Like so, Denzel's on the Mount Rushmore for sure.
Well, yes.
For men, I'll say for men.
Okay.
I don't think it should be men and women on the same one.
Yeah, because and a lot of times, I mean, women are more in supporting roles or not lead roles, so it's kind of like you're excluding them for something they can't control. But yeah, now, yeah. So maybe we'll do a one has to go, female actors.
I tell you who I love, Matthew McConaughey. Oh my,
Yeah, I like him. All right,
phenomenal.
all right.
Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
really, there needs to be a black Mount Rushmore, a white Mount Rushmore, a black woman Mount
Why does
Rushmore,
it?
a
Why it
white
gotta be a black?
woman.
Do you think black people consider actors and actresses different than white people consider them? Like as far as like how we're saying Denzel's the GOAT, do you think white people may also say Denzel's the GOAT, or do you think they have a totally different list?
I
Like is
think
Denzel a
Denzel.
crossover GOAT, or is he just a black GOAT?
I was gonna say I think Denzel might cross over. Now, everybody else in that list, other than maybe Will Smith a little bit, I don't think
Well,
crossover
Lawrence
in the
Fishburne
same way.
definitely is not a crossover.
Who?
Morgan Freeman, they make him God, so how's he not a crossover?
Yeah, but a lot of the time you don't see him, so you just want me for my voice. I mean,
Which you get a lot of money for. James Earl Jones, you
yeah,
get a lot of money for his voice. Will Smith may be a crossover, but I don't think some people may call Will Smith a GOAT.
definitely not white people. Yeah, I mean, mm, mm.
That's an interesting question. Is there a black Mount Rushmore and a white Mount Rushmore when it comes to actors?
Mm-hmm.
Because how many black people are going to say, "Oh, Leonardo DiCaprio is on my top 5"?
Right. Plus, they might only know him from
Titanic.
No, I was about to say, what was the slave movie?
Oh, Django.
Yeah.
I thought
So
you were going to say Wolf of Wall Street. He was great in Wolf of Wall Street.
yes, phenomenal. I'm just saying when you said, well, black people recognize
Hmm.
him. I'm saying that's the only place a lot of them probably really recognize him from.
Yeah,
But yeah, phenomenal. Wolf of Wall Street, one of the best movies ever created,
it's a
for
good
me.
movie. It was a good movie. All
Yeah.
right, now to a more serious topic.
Of this, as you can see, potentially law enforcement officials and other officials just outside of a gate, this on a street near the Beverly Hills area. Of course, we're following it very closely on Live Now from Fox. And of course, we were watching this. We didn't know exactly what we were seeing at the time. So this is just a little bit ago as you can see a crowbar to get through this gate initially as well. The long guns and a multitude of people. As you'll see, they'll zoom out a little bit just to see the amount of force they are using to get inside this home. And of course, the complex in which this home sits is a very expansive one for the American rapper and producer. You can see them checking inside of a vehicle. We don't know exactly what is involved, if Diddy's even there. We don't know a ton of information about this at all, but this was dramatic video coming in of the Los Angeles home there, raided by Homeland Security.
We will preface this by saying we do not have all the details. The homes of rapper, producer Sean Diddy Combs were raided earlier this week, his home in Los Angeles and his home in Miami. The agency that was leading the raid is known for investigating human trafficking, sex trafficking, whatever you want to call it. When people hear that topic, they think more international, like people being brought from out of the country to be sex slaves or whatever. But there is domestic human trafficking. All of this is allegations. There has been no charges filed at the time of this recording. But what do you think of it? I know, there's been a lot of memes and jokes on social media as civil allegations were coming out about Diddy. But now, this raid, that is a criminal element. Again, at the time of this recording, there have been no charges filed.
I'm just gonna say I think it's an unfortunate situation. I think the fact that it's escalated to this point, and again, as you keep saying, this is all alleged. These are allegations at the time of this recording. Um, I think the fact that it's gone this far, that there's probably some truth to something.
Mhm.
The fact that it's gotten this big, that the Department of Homeland Security decided to raid both of his homes,
Yeah.
clear across the country from each other. One in California, one in Florida.
Yeah.
Um, I hate it because whether we talking about and Fonnie, I love you, and so this not me coming for
What?
you. To my Fonnie Willis, this not me coming for Fonnie, but I think one of the saddest things, whether you talking about a local district attorney, a media mogul, a
Hmm.
politician, for us as people of color, when we get in these positions and we mess up, nobody's perfect, but it's just a sad thing when we mess up
Yeah.
because
And
they
yeah,
want us to mess up.
yeah, and it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot that we do not know. So, regardless of the court of public opinion, people are innocent until proven guilty. That does not mean he's innocent. That does not mean he's guilty. We just don't have all the facts, but we wanted to bring it up on the show because it is something that a lot of people were talking about this week. And I talked to a lawyer friend that I know, and he was saying one, you got to have some real stuff to get a warrant signed by a judge. Now, granted, you know agencies know certain judges that'll just sign things for them, but you gotta have some meat to it to get a warrant signed to enter two homes. And so we'll have to wait and see how it shakes out, but definitely something that'll be talked about for a while.
Yeah, and there's no that I know of. There's no motive behind why the federal government would want to do this. I'm saying like you can't
Yeah,
say that this is political.
trying to pick on. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and dang, what was I about to say? Um, I think everybody not telling the same lie. When you go
that's true.
back, and I'm not comparing him to this person, but when you go back and listen to R. Kelly's music,
Hmm.
you can kind of hearing his music today sounds much different than it did back then because now you listening to it from the context of the trouble he's found himself in. So
Hmm.
I think a lot of this stuff that's coming out allegedly about Diddy, everybody not saying the same lie. But
Yeah.
I ain't saying he did this stuff or is doing this stuff because to me that's crazy. And to me, I also compare this to the man that jumped on top of the Waterburger. Because how you figured, Diddy, if this is true, that you was gonna get away with human trafficking? Like that's crazy. That's crazy. Now,
So
and to be fair, I don't know the exact definition, but I think if you traffic one, that counts as human trafficking. So this might not
yeah, yeah,
necessarily
yeah,
be
yeah.
some huge
Hmm.
international ring, like you saying, it doesn't have to be that.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but I hate that, and I definitely hate. Again, I don't know anything that's true or not. I definitely hate other people who've been dragged into his alleged mess. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna name them. I'm not even gonna give fuel to those fires. But um, I think if we don't even know something to be true about one person, don't drag other people into it. Don't do that.
Well, we'll continue to follow this because, again, this is still a fresh story and we don't know all the details. Also, which I meant to mention in our news block, we don't know all the details of this too, but I mean, dramatic video in Baltimore, a ship, a barge, early, um, early Tuesday morning appeared to lose power. That was from the initial reports. You see the lights go off in this video that you're watching right now. And then the barge hits a bridge, the Francis Scott Key Bridge, and it basically within seconds collapses. Now, the mayor said that people were working on the bridge. Of course, there were cars going across the bridge. We don't know the final number of, deaths or injuries, but just crazy video of just seeing, America, we have some pretty old bridges in general that need to be replaced. But I mean, what were your thoughts when you saw the bridge collapse?
How did this happen? And more so, not talking about there are some theories out there of the motives or whatever around it, but like, and I don't know why I just never have thought about this. And maybe they hit the one right column.
Literally hit a sweet spot. It had to be because
Yeah,
I mean,
because I'm
for
like,
the whole bridge to collapse.
how did that whole thing come down like that? And that's scary to me because now it's like, dang, if it's that easy for a boat to hit a thing and the whole bridge gonna come down, man.
Yeah.
If it wasn't terrorist related, we sure just
Mhm.
gave them a new idea.
And there were initial reports from the FBI saying they do not believe this is terrorist related. It was human error or mechanical, whatever, but they do not believe it was an attack on Baltimore, an attack on the United States. Um, man, just seeing, and I understand. I mean, I shared the video. We're showing the video here, and I understand the mayor said in an interview Tuesday, he was like, I would hope the news station stop showing it, which I get why he's saying that, and I also get why news stations are showing it. It's not every day that we see a bridge collapse or incident like this, right? But you also have to recognize that there were people on the bridge, cars on the bridge. You may see a car that looks like your loved one's car, and now people are just playing over it. I mean, you have to be sensitive to that.
Well, at least the video
There are
I
people
saw.
who literally possibly died from a video that's just playing on loop on
Okay,
TV.
well, from the video I saw, you alive.
I,
You
I
say
saw. Well, yeah, it was
you,
dark and 1:30 in the morning. You didn't
yeah,
see.
you did not
You
see
didn't
your
see a
loved one
Honda
car.
Accord, but it's still dramatic if you know that. Okay, I can't contact my loved one, and I'm seeing this video play over and over again, and I know that they crossed that bridge at that time. You're going to expect the worst.
Okay, again, not saying that this was terrorist related, but that's like saying we should never play videos from the Twin Towers collapsing.
But all stations stopped showing it.
Yeah, it's just I don't know if I agree with that. I think certain things that happen in public is up for grabs, which leads us to this next part, was our sports segment. But I want to ask you a question because you're a journalist. Um, Kim Mulkey, who's coach for what's the LSU female
Hmm.
basketball team. We spoke about her last week or a week before, something like that.
Hmm.
Phenomenal coach. Phenomenal coach. As far as a coach.
Yeah.
Not always in agreement with some of her statements and
Hmm.
views that she has. But she said that she's gonna sue the Washington Post if they publish any false information about her.
This reporter has been working on a story about me for 2 years. After 2 years of trying to get me to sit with him for an interview, he contacts LSU on Tuesday as we were getting ready for the first round game of this tournament with more than a dozen questions, demanding a response by Thursday, right before we're scheduled to tip off. Are you kidding me? This was a ridiculous deadline that LSU and I could not possibly meet, and the reporter knew it. It was just an attempt to prevent me from commenting and an attempt to distract us from this tournament. It ain't gonna work, buddy.
She claims that they contacted some of her former players, telling them that they could be anonymous in
Hmm.
something that they're putting together about her, and that she's hired the best defamation law firm in the country. My question for you is, how far is too far, and do you think that whoever the reporters, the writers for the Washington Post crossed the line by contact, if they really did do this, by contacting her
No, I firmly
former
believe they
players?
contacted. I mean, that's something any journalist would do, and this is different than Okay, like I'm a journalist, but I do stories that happen each day, right? So I'm contacting sources and people connected to the story for that day. If you're doing a long form piece, which some people call a hit piece, which means a story that doesn't portray a person in a good light, yeah, you're going to do research and talk to, in this case, former coworkers, former employees of that person. In this case, she's a coach, former players, former coaches. That's a common practice. That's not anything that's weird or being messy or anything like that. That's a common practice because you want to talk to people who was around that person for an extended period of time. I will just say this as a journalist and as just a regular person. Uh, could what Kim Mulkey is saying be true? Whatever is going to be in this article is a lie. That could be true. But as you see, she's getting out in front of it with a prepared statement. Kim Mulkey is not a scripted person, and she read from 2, 3 sheets of paper. Um, just because she's saying it's not true does not mean it's not true. I will say that.
Yeah,
Um,
you're alluding to that there's possibly something that is true in this potential article that she doesn't want to come out.
correct. And I mean, and if that timeline is true, then it's not a good look on that journalist that, oh, we have these questions for you to answer and given it such a short window. Now, they gave that short window and the story still has not been published as of this recording. So we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, it's not the same as the Diddy story, but it's still we have to wait and see because we don't know all the information. We only know her side. And if she hired the best legal team, they were smart in telling her, go ahead and say this. Because now on repeat, we're only hearing her side. We're only hearing what she's saying, and we don't know what the other thing is. We don't even know the subject of the article. She's the subject, but I'm saying, is it about her coaching practices? Is it about her politics? Is it about something else? We don't know. So, yeah, we do not know.
Yeah, I think I've never seen Kim Mulkey in one of those press conferences wearing glasses that long. So it was definitely like, this is calculated. This is
Yeah.
this
Well,
is yeah.
so we'll have to wait and see.
Man,
I hope Don Staley wins another national championship. I don't care about LSU. I'll go on the record to say that. All right. We what? I like Don Staley.
well, yeah, I
Don
mean, I
Staley's
like
good.
Angel Reese though.
Okay, she won last year.
So what does that mean?
LSU is not going to repeat. I'll tell you that.
But I'm saying, what does that mean? Because she won last year.
No, I'm saying LSU is not going to repeat. I'm just going to tell you they're not going to repeat. We can make a bet they're not going to repeat.
Speaking of, well, for whatever. But speaking of bet, you ever done anything? Well, never mind. Let me not, because people. But you ever been on Prize Picks before?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Okay, let me see your shoe.
You lost some money. Okay, we didn't have an inspiration story, but I will say this. Last week we wore our first ever dialed in merch. I got messages from multiple people saying they wanted some merch. So depending on if we get enough messages, maybe we'll put out merch. But people recognized and liked the gear. Uh,
I started to put it on again today, but then I said,
I
nah.
thought about it, but I was like, I'm not doing that. Not doing that. But it's cool. It's cool. Now I was in the airport. I wore it to the airport, and multiple people I could tell were reading this shirt. And an older black gentleman came up to me. He said, "I got to check that out." So it was cool.
That's
All right,
funny.
show your shoe, man. Kick of the week. That's the Green Forces. That's what I call them.
That's Stevens High School.
Yeah, state champs, boys and girls. Look at that.
And I need to tell you something too. But
Oh.
yeah.
I got a repeat shoe. I'm showing it because I just came back from my Alpha Regional Convention, and so got some black and gold, of course. I've shown it before, but just because I had a convention, so there you go.
I literally this morning was going back through the old episodes trying to see which shoes I've already shown. And I was like, oh, I've not shown these before. I thought I did, but I haven't.
So that's why they were your kick of the week.
And look, I like how it has the different color writing on the back of it.
Look at you with your nice camera.
But y'all, next week I'm excited. I'm excited this week because on Sunday Jesus got up and he got up with all power in his hands. And this not church, so we're not necessarily having a sermon right now. But y'all get to know Jesus if you don't know him. But next week, Wednesday, will be the 10th episode of the Dialed In.
Yeah, it will be. It will be 10 episodes. That's crazy. Did you think we would make it to 10? Because every time you bring this up, you like, oh man, I'm shocked that we're doing this.
Yeah.
Like,
Look,
dang, are you that shocked?
oh Lord. Oh, I'm sorry. Look. No, look, I feel so good. Well, kind of. Yesterday, I got up and I went for a walk, and the walk felt horrible. But then the rest of my day, I felt like I was floating on clouds.
Mm-hmm.
And today, I didn't get to do my walk this morning because we were recording this, but I plan on later on taking a walk. I don't know why I brought that up. What were we talking about?
I don't know. Dialed In will hit 10 episodes next week.
Yeah.
That'd be great. I don't think it's cake worthy. Mike could probably help find something. Maybe we'll get a cupcake.
Yeah, I mean, because I wouldn't have bet on us.
Dang.
Mm-mm. I definitely would not have thought we would have made it this far. But I'm glad Dad would be proud. He would.
Yeah.
But look, he'd be like, I'll clap for you when you hit 100.
Yeah. At least 50. Shoot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna celebrate 10, but yeah, we'll do something for real later. But thank you to everyone who watches us on YouTube or listens to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other platforms. Continue to like, subscribe, comment, share the post with your friends. And if you share enough, if we get enough good traffic and Micah looks at the stats, maybe we'll do a small merch launch for those diehard dialers.
And thank you to the Dialed In fam for the mic flag.
Yeah, I got to get mine. Micah should have waited till I got mine this weekend so we can both have it on episode 10. But
Oh
Micah
yeah, I forgot you're coming.
Oh,
by the mail.
wow.
And, yeah, you can just,
yeah.
you can just take it back with you. Yeah. But yeah, remember Jesus got up. I'm just on that. I'm just on that this week. Jesus got up. Because he got up, we can get up.
He is risen.
Go to church on Sunday. Go in person to church and find Jesus if you don't know him.
All right. We'll see you guys next week for our 10th episode.